Hi guys, if you're new here, my name is Sam and I make videos typically about makeup, chronic illness, and whatever I want. Paused for a minute. But we are in the middle of Sammoween, which means we have Halloween content. And this video is particularly important because the next two Halloween costume looks I have require quite a few things on this list. So today we are going to discuss what I consider must-have items in your special effects, Halloween, or any other time of year makeup kit. So the first thing that's absolute must for me, no ifs, ands, or buts, is liquid latex. Liquid latex is so versatile and you can do so many things with it that I used the crap out of it. I had to buy a new jug this year because my first jug is running pretty low. You can create prosthetics, you can create cuts, wounds of any kind, you could create burn looks, you can attach anything to yourself that you want. It does so many things. I will say two little facts about it. It smells terrible, and you do need to use something to take it off so you don't hurt your skin. 2, don't use it anywhere close to your eyes because it will burn. You absolutely don't want to get it into your eyes. And if you're going to put it over any hair, make sure you use a lot of Vaseline or something to coat your hair because it will rip it right out. Next item, paints. My favorite brand is Mayron paints, and I think they're just a great SFX company in general. Any kinds of paints. My most used colors are definitely white and black. I tend to use eyeshadows for a lot of other things just because I have so much eyeshadow, but if you don't have a large eyeshadow collection, I highly recommend picking up their paints. I prefer the puck paints more than the squeezy tubes, but I do have squeezy tubes. And it doesn't have to be Mayron, it could be any other brand. I just really like their stuff. That's what I used in all of my videos. The Ghost or Witch from last year, or not last year, the year before. Losing track of time. Yeah, so the Beetlejuice one, I used the Mayron Clown White. It's really great. And fun fact, it doesn't break me out, and I am highly acne prone. So if you are as well, it is a safe paint. I will be linking stuff down below where I found it. Sponges, these are mandatory for me. I thought I had some over here. You know, just those, I'll insert pictures on the screen. Those like cheap foam, no, that isn't one. Cheap foam triangles. Those are mandatory for latex because you can't get latex out of anything. So you want to use stuff you can throw away. But getting a lot of those like grease paints and stuff out of sponges and whatnot is very impossible, so don't use good sponges for that. Get those cheap little triangles. You can get tons of them for very little money. Next is like a palette. I don't know, I didn't bring any of this stuff over here to mix things on for latex on because you can just peel it off easily. You could also use paper plate for this, but this way you don't have to throw more stuff away. Mixing paints, latex, all of that kind of stuff, just do it on a metal palette. Metal is my preference. It also comes with this I do have over here. Like these little like spatula things, which helps mix it up. It's also great use to like mix foundation shades or whatever. Next up is fake blood of any kind. I love gory looks. I love bloody looks, so fake blood is absolutely mandatory. They make all sorts of different kinds, so it really depends on what look you are trying to do specifically, what kind of blood you need. I like regular blood, and I also really like Scav Blood. Those are my two favorite things. Cotton. Cotton is kind of like latex, and it can be used for so many things. Burns, cuts, all sorts of textures. It is my favorite medium to work with to create things, prosthetic type items, and it's really cheap. Everyone has some cotton balls generally, but you can also get them at the dollar store. Or they might even be cheaper than $1.25 if you went to Walmart or something. Brushes. Don't use brushes that you're using for regular makeup. I don't have any sitting around here, but e.l.f. maybe I have. Yes, I have an e.l.f. brush. e.l.f. has these fairly cheap in the white handle. My goodness. These are really cheap and they're pretty good brushes, so I love to use these with this kind of makeup. I also like to use old cheap paint brushes, or if you can just find like old brushes of different textures, even if they're makeup brushes, just don't spend a lot because it is kind of hard material to like clean out. You don't want to use a really expensive makeup brush meant for more delicate makeup on something heavy duty. That's why paintbrushes work really well, because they are meant for paint, which is heavier duty than like eyeshadow or foundation. Next, tinfoil. Tinfoil is another great medium for like making things such as prosthetics. You can make a fake jaw, which hint that is going to be in one of these videos. You just do so many things with it, and you just cover it with cotton and latex and create like a fleshy environment, but that works as your structure, and everyone has tinfoil. Vaseline protects your eyebrows, your hairline, but it's also good for making things look like wet. So when I did my Freddy Krueger look, I relied on a lot of Vaseline to give that like shiny burn look. And I would say most people have Vaseline in their house as well, so that's a perk. A lot of this stuff you probably already have. I have 3 optional things. One I failed to do for myself this year because the instructions on the plaster were bad, and that is a face cast. A face cast can come in handy for making like the jaw with foil, so you don't have to attach it directly to your face. You can build it on the face cast and then attach it later after it has dried, especially if you're doing like a lot of latex. It could take 24 hours to dry, so it's gonna be fun to figure out. I might not be doing the fake jaw because the don't buy plaster on Amazon. The instructions for how to mix it were really bad, and I didn't mix it properly, and it was all lumpy and it didn't dry right. So no face cast this year. We'll try again next year. The second optional thing is something else I really like, which is scar wax. This helps you in a more realistic way than cotton create cuts and wounds. A texture to your skin is fairly expensive, so this is optional, and I only use this for very specific things. I still do like the cotton or tissue or something option, but this is if you want it to look extra realistic. One of my costumes I wanted that for, so I have some of that. And the last was what I mentioned, Scav Blood. This looks like the most realistic blood, so if you really want to add a bang to a costume, this is the way to go. There are recipes online to make your own. I buy the Ben Nye Scav Blood just because it's easier, and I don't use much of it very often, so it wasn't a horrible cost for me. And that's all I have for you today for my special effects starter kit. I'm still building my kit as I go along because I'm still new at this, but I would like to add, use what you have. Use eyeshadows for face paints, etc. It works really well. If you've watched some of my other videos, you'll see that I use eyeshadow quite a bit for my costumes. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing. Hopefully I won't get another ear infection that makes me miss a video. I'll see you guys next time.